Okay, and wow, away we go. Teal Shirt Report podcast. Um, a lot of times with a loss or even a win, I'm thinking, man, let's give it 2 or 3 days, let it sink in one way or the other. I just cannot do that this time. Jaguars lose. They lost 36. What was the final score? 36-29 in a game in which they led 29-10. Jaguars actually led this game 29-10. I mean, let that let that sink in a minute. This is the Third Report podcast. If you're tuning in, that's okay. We've we've been kind of experimenting with putting pictures up, taking them down, and it's only going to mean things will get better. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. Episode show, this is actually, 63, right? Episode show number 63. Willie Lanier wore 63 for the Kansas City Chiefs back in the heyday. Kansas City Chiefs won their first Super Bowl back, I believe, was it January of 1970? It was the 1969 season. First Super Bowl I ever watched was in 1970. Kansas City Chiefs methodically beat the Vikings 23-7. Joe Camp was the quarterback for Minnesota. Lynn Dawson, the quarterback for Kansas City. Good football back then. Jan Stenerud, I think, kicked about 3 field goals. Big catch by Otis Taylor down the sidelines. I think he took it all the way for a touchdown. But it was the first Super Bowl I ever watched. And as I look over the city of Jacksonville, beautiful weather, by the way. I'm looking up at the thermometer, 48 degrees. We actually hit a low temperature. I should say we had a high temperature today on November the 10th of 59. That took place about 4 o'clock in the morning when I first woke up. Now we're down to 48, no mention of rain. It's going to be clear and breezy. I've been outside. It's very, very breezy so far. Wind's going to be west at about 13 to 23 miles per hour. We've already hit the high today of 59. 48 degrees right now at about 6:50 a.m. on Monday morning, November the 10th. You're tuned in to the Teal Shirt Report podcast. We're about 2 minutes in. We're brought to you by Saucer Realty and Capital for your real estate needs in North Florida. And I kind of chuckle thinking about Larry Saucer. I did not hear from Larry yesterday. Usually I'll get a little comment about the Jaguars game from him. It sickened a lot of people. Good friend of mine, Mike Pate, from the Ed White High School days, and he's in our Facebook Big J Report Facebook group. He had some comments that it was one of the worst losses. I think is kind of how he put it, I believe. I messaged with Marcus Medlock during the game. He got sick at the very end of the game. He said, I just can't talk about it anymore. And there were some problems in this game. The offense, they just could not complete this thing. The offense got like 1 yard in the fourth quarter, I believe, 1 or 2 yards in the fourth quarter. They had a 29-10 lead. The offense just could not complete the victory. The defense, as Mike Pate said in our Facebook group, the defense probably ran out of gas toward the end. And you got this backup quarterback. What was his name? Davis? I'll pull the stats up in a minute. Drinking a little coffee now. But unbelievable. It was an unbelievable game. And I think I texted Gaylor during the game. Man, we got this one won. Man, I spoke too soon. Parker Washington had a good game, a couple of touchdowns. I really said before the season started, I thought he'd have a breakout year, and it looked like it started happening yesterday for him. And, I'm glad to see that, actually. But the loss, doesn't matter what the stats say, a loss is a loss. Texans did win the game 36-29. Here are the stats. These are just, Davis Mills is the guy. He found a lane late in the fourth quarter and ran. I think it was a 13-yard touchdown run. Traylon Walker couldn't catch him. was Armstead, the other guy that was after him, and they gave up because they couldn't catch him. He found a lane and went about 13 yards for a touchdown. Davis Mills, 27 of 45, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had to put the ball up 45 times because they were coming back in the game. On the other hand, the Jaguars had 3 and outs like the entire fourth quarter. Trevor Lawrence, 13 to 23, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It was like on the last play. And instead of the Jags losing 30 to 29, the Texans grabbed a cheap interception on the last play of the game, and they win 36 to 29. But they had the game won by 1 point anyway. ETN, 16 carries, 58 yards. He had a touchdown run. Newly acquired Jacoby Myers had 3 catches for 41 yards. I'm amazed he got in the game and knows some of the playbook. But he had 3 catches in the game. I like what I saw on a limited basis. Probably need to throw him the ball more often. Sacks, Eric Armstead had 1 sack. My God, the guy for the Texans, Hunter, the defensive end, had 3.5 sacks in the game. Tackles, Olakon. I love our linebackers. Let's get one thing straight. Olakon is a tremendous linebacker, and Ventrell Miller is a guy with so much effort. He's won a starting job with the Jaguars too. A lot of effort. Now here's something that we look at. Both teams did have 2 turnovers in the game. The Texans grounded out 27 first downs. The Jags had 19 first downs. Penalties, not a big difference. I mean, the Texans had 11 penalties. The Jaguars 9 penalties. Third down efficiency, listen to this now. The Texans were 10 out of 15 on third down. Jags 4 out of 11. But this is maybe the key. The Jaguars, 213 total yards in the game, and they got most all of that in the first 3 quarters. You look at the standings in the AFC Southern Division, the Jaguars have dropped now to 5-4.